Two V's in a box. Two V's in a box. Hey, so you're two or one of the V's in the box. You need to sit back, listen, and watch.
Atrévete.
Tune in and get some jewels in your crown. So you're not reina representing Beantown. I would never ever knock my sister down. All my ladies win and take a look around. All the negativity we can do without. Please subscribe and let us show you a good ride.
Everybody the other V. The me and Lily just lovely. We talk about it all the good, bad, and ugly. All in favor, drama.
Okay.
Yeah, see that? Okay. I'm gonna let y'all know. I need to let y'all know. We real on this channel. So he was saying okay to me, but he's also watching the game, y'all. So something must have happened. Maybe a touchdown was a touchdown.
Something like that.
See, it was something that made him go, okay, all right, okay. It was like, yeah.
No. This one's from Kay. It says, Dear V's, I'm dealing with this guy for almost the last year. Everything was cool at first. Dates, he was affectionate, etc. After a late night call from his fiance, I found out he's been in a relationship for the last 3 years plus. After that, I cut him off. A few months ago, he entered back into my life. I know I'm wrong, but this shit feels right. He keeps saying he's gonna end things with his fiance, but should I wait or should I step to his fiance like a woman and let my intentions be known? I say bring that smoke.
Yeah, who want the smoke? Who want the
smoke?
Of course you are. You're a guy. You are a guy.
You're saying bring the smoke as in
step to the fiance.
He's saying step to the fiance.
You're going back into the pitcher's box. I mean the hitter box. Let your intentions be known.
I say respect yourself more. I know it's hard. Matters of the heart and what you desire and you want and you think you want. But know that two things I feel. One, he hasn't left. So you said it's been like a few years or something like that. It's been 3 years, and he was.
I think
they were together for 3 years.
No, it's been a few months. And he's entered back into my life.
And he's entered back into my life, and he's entered back in not as a single man. He still has a fiance. Yeah. That should tell you everything.
Maybe
in those 3 months, he wasn't thinking about you. I do
understand.
understand. Maybe
that much info.
And that's all.
Because maybe the wife got tired of him, put him out. Now he's trying to double back.
If he doesn't have a fiance, but right, if he doesn't have a fiance anymore, then do your thing. If he still has a fiance, and he's saying he's going to leave her, I say, just like I say with people that say, oh, he has a wife, he's going to leave her. You wait until that's done.
Yeah.
And until then, you are a single woman, and you should be able to do whatever you want. You don't keep yourself waiting for somebody who goes home to someone else.
That's right.
Okay, you respect yourself first, and you say, you know what? If you're back in my life and you want me, and I know I want you, we can do this, but we can't do this if you're still a fiance.
Now it's two adult women. How do y'all feel about the fiance word? Like I feel like that's kind of like bullshit. Like you're not my girl, but you're not my wife, so we're gonna rock out with this
means you're in between my
you're
girl
intended.
and my wife.
Oh, okay.
You're intended already.
Yeah.
I was always under the impression that like fiance had like a 1 year cap on it. Like we have a date for the wedding, and it's I actually be my fiance on May 1st, 2021. May 1st, 2022, we're supposed to get married. I don't know. That's what I always thought.
I think it's couple specific. That's what I think. I think it's couple specific.
I like that.
Because, it depends. Now, it depends on what kind of wedding you want to have. If you want to have a big wedding, do you want to just go to the justice of the peace?
Yeah.
Because the time that usually is spent in between becoming a fiance and walking down the aisle, that time is usually spent on planning.
Oh, okay.
And, in addition to your regular monthly bills and responsibilities, now you're planning for a wedding, which is expensive, depending on, what you're looking to do. So, I think, some people do 2 years.
Okay.
When I was getting married, there was a 15-month window.
Okay.
And you had people saying, why is it so far out? And I'm like, well, what's the rush? It's not like I'm going to run away or he's going to run away.
Yeah.
What's the rush?
Yeah.
So, again, it's really couple specific.
Okay.
It depends on your money. It depends on what's going on in your life. Maybe you have children that's going to be graduating and going to college, but you also want to you want to make your partner know that you're serious about this commitment and this is your intentions.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So what about a 5-year fiance?
I think that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind
To
of,
me,
I'm
2
in
years
between.
is enough.
Okay.
I'm in between both of you.
Okay.
You said that 1 year. She said couple specific.
Yeah.
I agree with both.
Yeah.
I am, and I have spoken to my baby girl, who,
Yeah.
as you all know, she's my niece, but she's my child. I'm not into long engagements. I'm not into. I consider long engagements hush money.
That's how I look at
I really do. I do understand that if we are planning,
Yep.
if we are 15 months, and 15 months of that, I know that at least once a month, twice a month, this man is saying to me, okay, so we got to do this, so we got to go look at flowers. But if it's like I gave you a ring and we don't talk about it again,
Yeah.
and so now I'm just hushing you up because, look, you just wanted to be a fiance, here you go.
Yep.
There are those professional fiancés,
Yeah.
and I'm not into that. I'm not into hush money.
Professional fiance.
Yeah,
I like
I'm not
that.
into, you giving me a ring because you think that that's going to shut me up and now you can do whatever you want to do, or, at least she has this ring.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel. It is most definitely depends on how much you want to spend on your wedding and what you want to do and how you want to plan. But I also believe that when you want to do something, you do it.
Yep.
And if we all have that wedding of our dreams and everything, but let's have a marriage of our dreams. Let's start working on those instead. I've had the wedding. I've had the wedding of almost every girl's dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It was something I did in 4 months.
Yep.
But again, not that we didn't have kids. I don't have kids, but he had kids.
Okay.
He had 5. So
Okay.
it's not that it can't be done, but it's got to be, is that the goal?
Yep.
And it has to be both our goals. I don't mind waiting with this ring on my finger for 12, 13, 14, 15 months, as long as I know that you are also waiting 12, 13, 14, 15 months. Meaning that we're still talking about this wedding, we're planning about this wedding, you've, looked at different shoes, you picked out your groomsman, whatever it is, I need to know that you are being a part of this in those 15 months. If you just put a ring on my finger and it's like, like I said, I'm not into hush money, I can't be bought. I won't be bought.
And on that note, I feel like that leads into a great conversation because we talk about hush money. Well, the problem first and foremost is it only becomes hush money when you have a woman who is pressuring a man to marry her. If a man wants to marry you, he's going to marry you.
Yeah.
So I feel like from listening to some of my friends' stories and talking to a lot of different women, I think women get caught up in this thing where, yes, many women want the American dream with the house and the fence and the children and a husband and a wedding and knight in shining armor.
Everybody,
and that's great. You can have that, right? But you have to have it with someone who wants it with you also.
Who wants to do it, yeah.
Like some guys really may like a woman, but not enough to marry the woman, or might not think for whatever reason that he wants to marry her. Because when a man, I totally agree with the saying that a woman should marry a man who loves her more than she loves him, because
we love differently.
With men and women do love differently, and you'll know if a man is into you. Like the writing is not hard to see. Like if he's ghosting you And the same way us women, when you guys text us and we like you, we get all jittery butterflies, and you're like sitting in your seat like, stop twerking. You know what I'm saying?
Forget to
respawn. It's the same way that guys get the same feelings when a woman that he's genuinely interested in and loves text him or reach out to him, you know? So I feel like a lot of women in our society is so busy chasing that American dream, but number one, they're not even ready to be wives.
Thank you. I was gonna say
that. They're not
that.
ready to be wives. It's not all on the men. Some women are not ready to be wives.
To say that. Yes.
A lot of women aren't taught to be wives. Now, I can honestly say that
the first thing about
I wasn't taught to be a wife. Like, you know, my mother took care of me, made sure I had food, a clean house, did my homework, was dressed dick sharp, as she used to say. Hair always done. But I can honestly say that I didn't learn how to be a wife from my mother. You know what I mean? My mother wasn't very affectionate. I didn't hear I love you and I'm proud of you and a lot of like positive affirmations at home. But you know what? I still know, I'm mature enough to know that my mother did love me. She did love me, but she just wasn't nurturing. And I don't hold that against her because that came from somewhere.
There you go.
She wasn't nurtured, or there was some kind of disconnect with her. So I don't blame her for that. But I noticed that I'm not as nurturing as I want to be, right? So I had to learn how to be nurturing with my husband. I had to learn how to cater and how to, you know, just from experience and, you know, prior relationships and just, you know, I kind of taught myself. I talked to other women that I looked up to and I took different things from different places. And I just came, you know what I mean? I wanted to be better and I wanted to work harder at being the best version of myself so that I could be a better mother, a better friend, a better wife, you know what I mean? A better family member and a better member of my community in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So back to, you know, the whole marriage thing, I feel like as women, we also need to be honest with ourselves. If sometimes men do need a push, you know, sometimes you have to, you know, you have to teach them how to treat you.
Oh yeah.
You have to communicate about what you want, and a man will hear you. He knows if you want to get married. He knows if he wants to marry you.
Yeah.
You know, but once you stop pushing, that's where you get the shut the fuck up ring. And that's where you're engaged for 2 and 3 years because he's forced to marry you in the first place. So it's like everyone has to, I think these conversations should happen in the beginning of relationships. What is it that you're looking for out of this? What is your ultimate goal? Do you, you know, are you a candidate for marriage? Do you want kids? Like, all these things should be talked about in the beginning before you enter into a relationship with someone.
But as a guy, a lot of guys would probably take that as pushy. Like, damn, we just been rocking. She's already talking about kids. She's talking about marriage. I might seem.
But you don't have to say the term marriage. You can say, what are you? Yeah, where are you going with your life? What are you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know when you first.
What's every guy gonna say though? That situation.
No, some guys will say,
"Listen,
I'm not into." You know what I'm saying? We can rock. I'm not into labels. You get the guys that say they're not into labels. You get the guy that said, "Listen, I don't want to be married." But guess what? Down the road, as things progress, this guy might, and it all depends on who you're around. I find that a guy is usually only as good as the company he keeps.
Yeah.
You know, and you can hang with, and that's not to say that just because, you know, the company he's around is doing such and such, he's doing it. But a lot of the times it says a lot about your character and by who you choose to spend your time with. You know what I'm saying? So if you're married and you're now hanging with your two homeboys that are married and cheating, or that's single and
Mhm.
you know and a bachelor doing his thing. It's like you're putting yourself in situations where, you know what I mean? Like the steak is dangling, and you're just like, I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna eat
You
it.
still gotta be a man.
You
The
have to be a
enemy,
man.
yeah.
Listen, but you also have to surround yourself with people who are doing the same things as you. Like, if you want a productive marriage, you have to surround yourself with people who also want a productive marriage.
Mhm.
Like, we're in a married group, a married couples group. We go on a retreat every year, like where we really have a counselor come and moderate activities and stuff like that, and we have hard conversations and personal deep conversations. Like, you know, these are, and it's helpful because guess what? Some people think like, you know, oh, my relationship, this happens and it's the biggest deal in the world. And then you get to talking to other women and, excuse me, it's not just you. Yo, your marriage is not going to be perfect. Like, you have to work. It is the hardest work you ever have to do. You have to love somebody beyond all their imperfections,
Yeah.
you know, their bad habits. Like, you're asking someone to, that's a big
It's
commitment.
unconditional.
You know, it's really unconditional, you know? So we have to do I think we as people have to do a better job with communicating. I understand where you're coming from.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be talking to a girl and you're liking her and it's 3 months in and she's like, hey, so but there's a way you can have the conversation without feeling pushy. Like, so we never got to chat. Like, so what's your ideology on marriage?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about getting married? Do you like to travel? These are things that I communicate about in the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, you want to jump into bed with me, you don't have no problem, you know what I mean, asking that. So I should be able to ask some questions here.
Yep.
Because guess what? Maybe if you don't want kids and you don't want a monogamous commitment, we can find out early if you're not the one for me.
Right.
Why start spending time and catching feelings to find out 5 months down the line, 6, 7 months, a year down the line that you're not interested in getting married at all? That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
And then women find themselves in these unfulfilled relationships, dead-end relationships that aren't going anywhere, but they didn't have that conversation in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Or they did. Or they did, and they try to exactly, and that's the part that, you know, is where that hush ring comes in, because you know, and like you know, Brandy said, you have conversations, okay, and you know in the beginning if you're talking to a guy or a girl or whomever you're speaking to, and those first conversations don't coincide with where you're trying to go, then why are you even entertaining that whole relationship period? It's easy for me to leave you after 10 days and after 10 years. I'm not going to invest time because in my mind, I'm thinking that I can change you, because then what happens is, and we spoke about this before, I think, you know, we fall in love with the idea of what we think that you could be and what you're not right now. And absolutely not. I'm not falling in love with a lie. You're going to say to me, you know, this is how you are. This is what you believe in. And it's also, I think, really good. I'm good for, I like to observe.
Yep.
I like to listen. I love to watch whoever I'm with around their friends and their people. That's when you get to know. Because a man is going to, or a woman, whoever you're dating, is going to give you their best self. Right? They're going to give, when they're around their own, they're going to just be themselves. And so I am very big on get to know who you're with by hanging out and talking and seeing how they treat other people. Okay? And also seeing what their lifestyle is. You know, and again, it's not for everybody. Yeah. You know, Brandy says she didn't learn how to be a wife. On the flip side, I did. I had a dad in the home. My mother, from the time I was able to carry a plate, she had me serve my dad his food. Okay. I was raised a different way where I which is why I require certain things from guys, because I know that I'm gonna treat you like a king.
Yeah.
But the minute that you don't treat me like a queen, oh honey, that will switch in a
And
heartbeat.
I also
But
had,
I enjoy doing it because I learned how to do it. I saw my mom doing it. It's not easy, like Brandy said. Marriage isn't easy. Nothing that you do that makes sense is easy if you think about it. I don't know one woman that says, oh, having my baby was easy. Labor was like, yeah, you could say he just popped out or she just popped out, but the first pains weren't easy.
Yep.
Going to college, where I worked until 3 a.m. and woke up at 7 to go to class. That wasn't easy. Nothing that you do that makes sense is typically easy. And you said earlier that we're raising we're a society of wusses. And that's where divorce starts. Because marriage is the hardest thing. And you give up because you think you're the only one going through. And like Brandy said, you combine yourself with people that are in your same circle.
Yep.
That way you see you're not by yourself. And, oh, shoot, that happened to you too? Oh, well, I don't need to get a divorce because clearly it's just my man being normal.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
But
when we don't, or me being normal, or even me saying, that was kind of wrong. You apologize. Having an accountability partner, real friends that tell you when you're being, that's a little bit much. I have those. Oh, Hildy, okay, that's a little. You got to be nicer, or that wasn't nice, or whatever. And I appreciate that because it takes a village. Mm-hmm. It really does, and you got to make sure you got the right village.
As my homegirl says, well, I'm going to use her term, real friends don't let their friends be lumlickers.
Lumlickers.
Oh. What's that?
It's just a word.
I have an idea, but
it's just one of those words.
Yeah.
Like, don't feel lumlicker.
But yeah. I mean, real friends help each other to, again, this is why we did this podcast and this channel together, to show that, I see a lot of channels and it's couples. And or whatever, but you know what? Two friends can get together. Mm-hmm. We can have differences of opinions. We can walk away still respecting each other, learning from each other. And that's why we wanted to do this, to show that this can be done. Mm-hmm. We can have sisters helping each other queen up and keep our crowns on straight. You know what I'm saying? There's times when Brandy has to pull me back. Hildy, you're having an anxiety attack. Can you calm down? And it's like, okay.
No, that's not what I said. That's the PG version.
Because I'm going to be PG. To God be the glory. I told you, same quarter, flip side of the same quarter. Okay? So the PG version is, Hildy, you're having an anxiety attack. Mm-hmm. We know she didn't say it like that. But whatever. The point of the matter is she put me straight.
Bitch, you're bugging. Bitch, you're bugging. You are bugging.
She put me straight. And I have put her. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you do when it's real friendship. Because you don't want to see your friend fail. You don't want to see your friend's marriage fail. You don't want to see your friend fail, period, if that's your real friend. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it at all. So what I can do to help you to be successful in whatever it is that you're doing, I'm going to be that person for you.
I wanted to get back to something Hilda said, because you know what's crazy? You would think that I didn't have a father in the house. When I said that I didn't learn how to be a wife from my mother, I'm most certain I not only had a father in the house, I had my own father, which she wasn't with, but I had an immaculate stepfather.
Amazing stepfather.
He's amazing. Stepfather who's been in my life since I was 2. So I grew up with a man, and then I went to see my dad every summer. Yeah. But it's just my mom's personality. Like, she's just really rough around the edges and just very grapefruitish, let's just say.
Grapefruitish,
she acts like a grapefruit, for lack of better words. But, in your
maturity, you've learned that that's who she is.
That's who she is. That's who she is. And
exactly.
I have the option of dealing with it or not.
And that's it. Yeah. Love does not mean
But that's a whole other show.
That's another show. Yeah.
Because
let me
tell you. No, I'm passionate about it, because you know what? It took me so long to get to this point. Like, and you would like listen, when we start talking about it, you'll see. But you know what I'm saying? It's sometimes I feel like I'm dealing with someone in the street the way the interaction is.
Yep.
But that definitely is a whole nother topic for another show, because in talking to women, you will not believe how many women feel like their mother don't like them. That's a real thing out here. So many women feel like that, you know, my mother never liked me, or my mother this is my mother's favorite kid, and they start talking about the things, and I'm like, damn, so this is really a thing. Like,
it really is.
and
My mom had a favorite, clearly, and everybody knew, you know.
Yeah,
I wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? But I also,
the
and
kids,
like I
the
said, in
grandkids
growing
get
up,
treated different.
yeah,
the kids get treated. You feel it and you see it. But I just thank God.
Yeah, but we owe it to ourselves to try to be better. You know, you owe it because you say,
choose to be
you
better,
know,
not
you
better.
just choose to be better. That's all you can do. You know, my mom, you know, great mom, hardworking mom. She did what she needed to do. Like I said before, you know, I saw something on TV and I said, ooh, I got it. Mm-hmm. You know, but when it came to affection, I didn't get it. Yeah. You know, when it came to I love you, I didn't get it. When it came to I'm dressed in my beautiful wedding gown, I didn't get, oh, you look beautiful. You know, but I learned how to, one, make sure that I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay? I am going to, I promised my baby girl when she was born, I said, I will be telling you that I love you every day. Because I didn't hear that word in my house, you know? So I'm going to tell you that so that you can hear it, so that you're okay with it, so that you're used to it, you know? And so that's why I say to my friends, okay, I love you, this and that and the other. It wasn't something that I heard, you know, growing up. But I chose that that's the person I want to be. I don't want to, you know, but I can't blame my mom either. Because when I look at it, this was a woman whose mom, it is. I was just you know, my mom's mom passed away when she was little. Yeah, she was a little girl.
It's definitely taught in the home.
Everybody had a job they fucking hated going to and shit. Like,
absolutely.
You don't want your kids to get too weak on around the edges. So
yeah, you do what you can do, and you only can do what you know how to do. You know, you really can. My mom lost her mom young. I know that, or the story I heard. My grandfather, who was my everything, you know, he imagine a man walking in. You just bury your wife who died suddenly. Yeah. Young woman in her 30s, and you've got these 5 kids in tow, and you're like, I'm a single man. I'm a widow, and I got these 5 little ones. What do I do? First thing my grandfather said was, okay, that's it. We buried her. She's done. No more crying in this house. Oh. Yeah, and see, you say, okay. Oh, and we can say, oh, too, like, ooh, that was harsh.
Oh, I thought he brought a replacement in.
No. Okay. But what I'm saying is, this is where my mother's hardness came from. And where I, you know, people, even doctors, Hilda, how do you deal with the pain that you deal with? How do you keep going on in life? You know, we weren't allowed to cry over a stomachache or over certain womanly things that we go through. It was one of those, my mother was, get over it, you know? And so I learned how to, which I know now is not good.
Resilient.
Too resilient to the point where I have actually, you know, I mentioned that I taught for, 18 years. I have stood in front of classes in extreme pain and nobody knew it, you know? Because all I can think of is my mother would kill me if I show these 50, 60 people in front of me that I'm about to faint. So it would be like, I'll take a break. Okay, let's take a 10-minute break. Meanwhile, Hilda's going in her office and going like this. And I'm like, oh my God. And you would never know that I was in extreme pain because I didn't grow up being able to show any kind of vulnerability.
Yeah, no, that's real.
So it's generational.
Generational.
And you gotta forgive in order to move on and to get better. You forgive and you say, I'm not gonna be like that. That's all you can do.
And you know what's funny? Like my like I hear myself. Some things that I do, I totally remind myself of my mother.
Every woman. Yeah.
However, like, it's not all bad. Like, you know what I mean? I embrace some of it. Yep. It's just certain parts that I want no part of. Like, I I refuse to absorb those negative qualities because I hate them on her. And hate's a strong word. I hate them on her.
That's real.
And I have resentment towards her. So I don't, and I work so hard not to, have that with my kids. But again, it's her who gets in the middle of even me and my kids.
Yeah.
So again, that's for another day. But
We got so much content for
Yeah.
you all and so much to talk about, and let us know what more you want to hear about. You know, we alluded to a lot of things in this episode. I realized that we were not all over the place, but talking about a lot of life. And if there's anything that you want to hear more about, we did this channel for this. We did this channel so that we can help not only ourselves but help you, and know that you're not, alone in anything. I went through, after losing my entire family, I had to do grief counseling. Before grief counseling, though, for 8 months, I thought I was crazy. Until I went into grief counseling and realized that these people are doing the same thing that I'm doing. So that's why we're doing this, so that you know that you're not crazy, you're not alone. You can talk to us about anything. And if we don't know the answer, we will find somebody that will get the answer for you. Trust and believe.
And also,
real,
don't be afraid.
100%. 100%.
Don't be hesitant to also, our email is listed.
Yep.
Yeah.
If there's anyone out there who needs an ear,
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk?
you need some resources, whether you're feeling suicidal, whether you need help signing up for food stamps or public assistance, housing,
home ownership,
we
fixing
have
your credit.
we have so much access to different resources and different people who want to be a part of the solution. So definitely shoot us an email. Everything is, definitely under. I'm not even gonna try. I'm a little.
No, we're not.
Everything's anonymous.
Everything is
No, I was
anonymous.
gonna say
We're not going to say your name
I
if you don't want us to.
Anonymity.
Yeah.
Anonymity. I'm put a crown back on. It's all right, y'all.
Well, my
Should be
mind
all
said, my mouth said, anonymity. but my Latin school mind said that ain't it.
That ain't it. Don't say that.
But yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and vice versa. If you heard us talk about something and there's something that you're like, you know what, I want to talk to you more about that. I want to help you with that, or how you're feeling with that. Again, it's this. It's this.
And our
this
inbox is 2 V's in a box, 2 VS in a box, just how it sounds, at gmail.com.
And our
Definitely.
Instagram is 2vs dot in a box at Gmail.
So definitely email us those questions. If resources are needed, we'll definitely do the work in trying to find what you need. We know a few agencies who are helping with.
We got a little connection.
Rental assistance. We can shoot those links to you. Don't be afraid, because guess what? Everyone's struggling in some way, shape, or form, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, psychologically, sexually, yeah.
And I have some stuff when we talk about, I have some stuff to help you with that part too.
No judgment.
Us women of a certain age or whatever, if you need some help in that side, or you need, again, no judgment. And there is nothing off limits. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be very, very, very shocked at the array and wealth of information and the array of things that the two of us have been through, have access to, and have been through, that we can say to you, oh, girl, dude, brother, I know about that. I did that, or I didn't do that, and this is what I did. This is how you can get out of this, and this is how you can do that. We're all here to help each other. Yeah. And that's what we want to do. So,
also, if any of you have any small businesses or any services that you'd like
to offer,
or you'd like us to highlight, send us an email. We can arrange for you to come on, share some information.
We want to help you.
Yeah.
We want to help. We really do. We want to help you. You help us. We help you. That's the way it goes. We said we have a few restaurants that are already, waiting for us, and we can't do a mukbang every day. Well, we can, but we're not, we have
I like a meatball.
She's got
no mukbang.
No, well, okay. Well, I wasn't even thinking about the eating part. I was just thinking about the time. You know what I'm saying? But even if you make clothing, let's say you make clothing for us, fluffier girls or whatever, and you want us to, showcase some of your product, we are ready to do that because we are going to be doing clothing hauls as well. We know that, COVID had us down for a couple, and sometimes people don't know how to put their clothes on, or what do I put with this and how do I wear? I have an affair coming up, is there? And so we're just ready. We're ready.
We'll also have a PO box soon. We've had some folks inquire
wanting to
about
send us stuff.
PO box. They want us to showcase their things.
We will be giving you that info soon.
If you have a brand, you can send us T-shirts. We will nicely market them. Give your contact and order information.
We have some T-shirts coming up real soon, and we'll be talking about the maker of those. We can't wait to showcase them.
Yes, sir.
And we're looking forward to wearing her shirts. But again, if you have any merchandise, if you have anything that you want to, hey, we know commercials cost a lot of money, and we're saying we'll give you a free one, certainly shout you out. If you have a YouTube channel and you want us to talk about your channel, and you'll talk about ours, and that's how we get this thing going. So let's do this, y'all. Let's do it.
That was a lot. You guys offer babysitting services too?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
Okay.
I have a babysitter on deck.
Okay.
She said she got one. No,
my daughter loves the kids.
I know we do actually. Actually, I do too. We do too. Welcome all the kids. I love kids of every age, babies to the big ones. I love kids and I love elderly because I like us around our age too. But to me, kids and elderly, they have no filter, and so you learn the most from them. They just say whatever, and sometimes they're whatever, even if it hurts, you're like, damn, they're right. Okay. So yes, babysitting services too, of course. Bring your babies, and they will be taken care of very well.
Also, if you have any recipes, any yummy recipes that you would like to share, email them. We will be cooking, having days where we're also making meals and cooking. Hilda is very good on the vegan side. She makes some deliciousness, even things that look like meat, but
and you'll think it's meat.
Tastes like meat, but it's not meat. So, and I like all the smoke. So I can do vegetables, but give me meat.
Oh, and I make a vegan cheesecake. Chocolate one, a strawberry one with rum sauce, and it's vegan completely, 100%, no eggs, no cheese, no dairy, and you will not know that it has none of that stuff in it. So even if you're not a vegetarian or a vegan and you just know that cheesecake just goes straight to your thighs, you can have mine. And we're gonna be cooking that together soon.
All right.
2 B's in a box. 2 B's in a box. 2 B's in a box. 2 B's in a box.